Hello, BookTube. Today I want to touch upon and discuss Soldier, Priest, and God, Life of Alexander the Great by F.S. Naiden. This is the third book I finished for Nonfiction November and has been so far my favorite book I've read for the whole month. So that's, So, unlike most biographies of Alexander the Great, this one takes as its focus Alexander's religion and how the Greek religion influenced him, how he influenced it, and how he used Greek religion in war and diplomacy. And it's very fascinating. This has been the best book I've read this month, by far. I started it on this past Saturday, and then I binged it on Sunday, and loved every minute of it. So, anyway. So, in a way, talking about, I think one thing when other biographies of Alexander I've read have touched on his religion, I sometimes wonder if maybe they don't quite know how to approach it. In that, on the one hand, we live in a time where we don't have to worry about the outside world, about nature, about the course of events. We know what's going on. And on the other hand, also, whether or not, since most scholars, whether they want to, regardless of their own personal religious faith, are influenced in some way or another by Christianity or Judaism, and whether or not monotheism or Christianity or Judaism, sort of how that interpretation reflects on interpreting those who believe in pagan religions, for lack of a better term. And Naiden, I think, does a very interesting job looking at some of Alexander the Great's decisions through the lens of religion. So basically, the Macedonians, who are people who work, they use Greek language, they worshipped primarily Greek gods, and were a part of the Greek world, but they were separate. They were more archaic in the sense that their culture harkened back to Homeric Greece. And their culture lionized, to a great extent, those heroic interpersonal battles compared to their city-state or polis-dwelling Greeks. So in a way, the Macedonians, and Alexander in particular, were more conservative, or in a way reactionary in their religious faith. And so a lot of Alexander's actions are colored in, like, with his religion. When he first began his invasion of the Persian Empire, he went on a detour to Troy. And he did this for religious reasons. He would sacrifice every day. He would pray to his favorite gods. He would try to draw parallels between the Olympians and local gods so that he can try to gain those gods' favor. And it's really very fascinating stuff. Um, I think there are a few issues. For one thing, I think some of the mythology might be a little off, although that said, mythology, especially Greek mythology, is a very eclectic, diverse set of stories that are not all a single canon. Every polis had its own stories. Um, and I think the more I think about it, the more I wonder whether or not, like, an explication of why Alexander did some of the things he did, his continual striving to conquer, to explore. Was he just had this great wanderlust that and will to conquer that just would not stop? Or was there something he had to prove? Was he a megalomaniac who wanted to outstrip the gods even as he placated and them and feared their wrath? It's all very interesting, and I really greatly enjoyed this book. And does put me in a mind to want to read the other recent Alexander the Great biography I have, the one by Anthony Everett, and read more about the Macedonians and the Macedonian Empire and the split up into the Hellenistic kingdoms. So that was Soldier, Priest, and God by F.S. Naiden. And I should have, hopefully next week, a discussion on Jan Rogozinski's A Brief History of the Caribbean, which preview is significantly drier. I probably will replace that one eventually with a more narrative history of the Caribbean, or like certain parts of the Caribbean. So anyway, thank you, BookTube. Have a great day.